Powell with the tackle. On the Squalicum 24-yard line, 2nd down and 4. With the carry. First down and dirty.
She has my jacket.
Jack McGee on the stop. 7 yards on the way by Hart. First down. First and 10 at the start, 18-yard line. Second down and 11. Aaron Martinez around the right side takes it down just to the 15-yard line. A gain of 4 yards. The tackle is really scandalous. The ball carrier in the 3rd and 7 play. Picks up 6 yards. And on the tackle for Squalicum, number 7, Zach Tucker. Fourth down and a yard for the Wildcats. Around the left side. 3 yards on the Wildcat. First down. Declan McGee on the stop for Squalicum. Ball out of place at the Squalicum 7-yard line. First and goal, Wildcats. With the carry. Takes it down to the 2-yard line, 5 yards on the run. Dedrick Mitchell on the stop. Second and goal for the Wildcats at the 2-yard line. 4:36 remaining in the half. Timeout, Squalicum. That's their second timeout of the half. They have 1 remaining.
Yeah, I think like this is fucking great till this class done up. But you, Kyrie, you know what? I know.
4:33 remaining in the first half of play. Well, one of the things we've seen over and over again with Wildcat teams is they are well coached, they are well conditioned.
Yes, they are.
They will keep churning, and they will wear down a defense.
Right.
And we've seen with defenses that are big and strong, lots of them get really tired near the end of the football game because they're chasing down our speedy backs.
Yeah, and the Wildcats that we've talked earlier. The Wildcats have never been very big. Even when I went to school here, or one of the greatest running backs of all time, Maurice Perigo, went here. Yeah, I said it, one of the greatest of all time. I just dated myself on that one. But when they were here, we were also still pretty small as well, too.
This time it's a little squib kick right up the middle, picked up by Powell. Powell's got it at the 25 to the 30. He's got it to the 40, slowed down and brought down at the 43-yard line. So a little squib kick by Dylander, brought down by number 9, Dylander, the kicker.
Yeah, he did double duty on that. Kicked it, they brought it up. Sometimes as a kicker, you are the last man of the fence. You're the last man standing, and he actually stuck his nose in there and made it happen. Now, Brian Jones actually mentioned to me that young man who is from New Zealand, so he's an exchange student. He says he's never seen a football until he came here, and the kid likes contact.
Well, the kid can kick it too, so. All right, so now with 4:26 remaining in the half, Wildcats need a stop and maybe get the football back with some time to score. They're gonna pretend to throw it, a little fake pass, and run it with Lloyd. Gets straight up the middle, picks up 7 yards almost to midfield. Aaron Martinez with the tackle.
Yeah, Aaron Martinez did a nice good job by just staying home from his right outside, by his strong side linebacker position there, and just broke down, saw that it was a fake all the way, saw the QB pull it out, and that was his man, broke down, made a tackle.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Lloyd sends Powell in motion. Going to drop back pass this time. He's got looking up the middle, and he throws it long, incomplete. Ball intended for number 4, Ashton Takaton. And number 4 for the Wildcats, Landon Cantrell was in on the coverage.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Wildcats want to do, is force the Squalicum Storm offense to start throwing, because that is not their strong suit. What their strong suit is running with number 10, Spencer Lloyd, the 6-foot, 190-pound quarterback, and let that young man make plays with his legs and not his arms, because unfortunately, if you get him throwing, he's not very accurate.
So this time it's a fake handoff straight up the middle for Lloyd. Lloyd gets it to the 30-yard line before he's brought down by Harden.
Yeah, and just like that, like what we just talked about there, he's so dangerous with his legs. If you sit there, if you break down and miss your tackle, he's going to gash you for 10 to 15 to 20 yards at a time. That's something you definitely don't want to do.
All right, well, they're driving now. They're inside the 30. Little fake. Oh, the pressure gets there, but the man is open and is connected, and he breaks the tackle. Touchdown for the Squalicum Storm. That's Colin McEachran. Touchdown, 30-yard pass play. And just like that, the Storm are within 1 with the extra point coming.
Yeah, so typically you would think if it's a passing down like that was, you would be on a cover 2, but since the Squalicum offense likes to run the ball, that was just more of man-to-man, and there was nobody deep because they sent somebody up the gut on the blitz there, and unfortunately that went bad for the Wildcats.
So Mason Lloyd with the kick, and he barely gets it through, but he does, so it's now 14-all. Storm and the Wildcats knotted up with 3:19 remaining in the half, and the pressure almost got there. I mean, it did get there. That was a wobbly duck pass for all intents and purposes, just happened to have enough on it to get it to his receiver.
Right. Well, and that's the second one that he's almost missed. So what the Wildcats are doing is they're bringing in a lot of good pressure coming from their right side, Squalicum's left side, because they're bringing more men than the offense can block there. And I bet you by the end of the night, if they keep doing that, they may just go ahead and get a block, which might just be crucial.
Well, they scored in like a minute and 3 seconds. So that gives 3 minutes and 19 seconds for the Wildcats to, march it down there and put some points on the board. And they get the football to start the second half. So, it could be a 2-score swing if the Wildcats can put a drive together right here.
Well, let's see if they can do a short drive here, because typically they're a little bit longer than normal.
They got to get it down the field in 3 minutes. So the kick is out there, and it's going to go out of bounds, which is a definite break for the Wildcats. That's going to be a penalty, and the Wildcats will get the ball on their own 35-yard line to start this drive.
Yeah, you can already see the King's Court showing up. You got Kanoa King down there. I'm not sure who else is on the court there. I just recognize one of the kids, though.
So no time comes off the clock because the kick went out of bounds. That's an illegal procedure penalty, which brings the ball to the 35-yard line, where Fitzgerald and the Wildcats will begin this drive 1st and 10. 2 receivers in this set, bottom of the screen. Fitzgerald's going to do a bubble screen out to Harden. Harden cuts it back up the middle, breaks another one. If he can get by that one, he's got nothing but green in front of him. First down at midfield, breaks another tackle, gets inside the 45-yard line, brought down at the 42. 1st and 10, Wildcats.
Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. That man has got such great field vision. He's able to look back and see where the running lane's going to be before it even opens up, and before you know it, he's through it and running for a lot of yardage. So that's a great play by the Wildcats. Great play call by Coach Fisher.
24-yard pass completion, 1st and 10. The ball's handed off to LeKelt. LeKelt breaks the initial contact by big number 76. That's Dominic Mack.
Well, with a name like Mack.
5'11", 285, so I'd nickname him the Mac Truck if it were me.
He's something. Big Mac, Macalicious,
Mac Daddy,
Macadamia.
2nd down and 2 yards. Can you tell we enjoy this, ladies and gentlemen? 2nd down, 8 yards to go after a pickup of 2. This time it's Martinez, gets it around the right side. Does a little hippity hop, gets around one tackler, gets it to almost the 35-yard line. It's going to be really close. The nose may be touching it. Pickup of 3, actually 4 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 5. 4 down territory for sure, I think. For sure, I think. Yeah.
Maybe think for sure?
Yeah. We've seen a few different formations from this Wildcat team tonight for sure. And this time Fitzgerald gives it to LeKelt. LeKelt has 1st down yardage to the 30-yard line, brought down by number 4, Ashton Toktakan is what I'm going to call it. Also number 8, Declan McGee.
Yeah, so they're running behind Fiskin and also Brandon McCullough, the left tackle and the left guard there. Those guys have been doing it and getting the job done all night, and they're getting it done again.
Harden gets the ball on the jet sweep. He cuts it up. He's got nothing but green in front of him. The 10, the 5, touchdown Wildcats.
See, what we had talked about right there with the Wildcats is where are you going to run? You're going to run behind your bread and butter. And right now the Wildcats are making the oversized Squalicum Storm defensive up front look like little kids out there because they can't handle the blocking and the strength coming from the Oak Harbor Wildcats.
So Mitten's going to try to kick it. Fitzgerald with the hold. One of the things that I think I'm seeing tonight with Harden is a little bit different level of patience. He's normally going a little quicker left and right, east and west. This kick is up, and it is no good. So that means it's 20-14 in favor of the Wildcats. But on that play right there, he just waited for his blockers to do their job. He looked for a seam, he found one, and then bam, he was at full speed.
Exactly. You know, we had talked about him becoming a more patient runner. Those are some of the things that you work on as the season goes along, is you just learn to become a little bit more patient. And how you learn to do that is because, you know, these young men or at lunchtime, they're in Coach Turner and Coach Fisher's room. These guys are in there watching film, watching themselves get better. How can they improve? And and that's just called taking your game to the next level. And I'd like to see that young man play somewhere in college. He's got the talent to do so.
So a missed extra point has the Wildcats only up by 6 with 1:11 remaining in the first half. And Dylander has it set to kick away. This time it's a little low line driver picked up by Powell at the 21-yard line. Finds some running room, gets it to the 34-yard line. Number 6 is in on the stop, Cody Fenton.
Cody Fenton, he's a senior, yes, he is. Cody Fenton out there making some headways here on senior night, on special teams, being the gunner, breaking down, seeing he can get his name called there by the famous super announcer there in Jay, which is actually fantastic. That's what you play for on a Friday night.
Hear your name?
Yeah, I'm telling. Even when I was playing, it's like, is Jay going to say my name tonight? You want to hear your name on Friday night.
Jay's been doing it for like 30 years.
Yeah,
so.
long time. But I'm not that old. 30 years ago.
Squalicum Storm now have it with 1:06 remaining. Ball's on their own 35-yard line. Lloyd, handoff straight up the middle.
Ooh.
And Powell breaks the tackle. He's got one man to beat. And he does break that tackle. Touchdown for the Storm. One play.
Wow.
From their 35, 65-yard pass play. Running play. And that play took 8 seconds.
It sure did take
10 seconds.
10 seconds, 8 seconds, but most importantly, for a district, championship that's going on tonight at War Memorial Stadium, that's darn near heartbreaking.
So now we're knotted up at 20 with the extra point coming from Mason Lloyd. The hold is and he squeaks it over the upright. So the Wildcats now trail by 21-20 with 54.8 seconds remaining in the first half of play. And these two teams are going toe-to-toe, blow-to-blow. And just like, we had 4 minutes left in the half, and it was 7-all.
Right.
And now we've got 54 seconds left, and it's 21-20.
Yeah, well, we talked about how important the extra points are going to be tonight, and we were the first one to miss. So I don't like that feeling. So somewhere down the line, if we don't get ahead by a couple of scores, we may have to go for 2.
Yeah, it's always a little scary going for 2, but sometimes you got to do it. So Wildcats with 54.8 seconds remaining in the half for this drive. We'll see what the Storm decide to do, whether they kick it to them deep or what. But Mason Lloyd's going to have that thing teed up at the 40-yard line. And back deep to receive is going to be Martinez and Hardin. So Lloyd gets his foot into it, sends it deep. It's going to be Martinez with it at the 5-yard line. Straight up the middle, has a seam.
Nice.
To the 30. Brought down at the 32-yard line, number 50, it looks like, for the Cesar Vasquez with the tackle.
Yeah, Cesar Vasquez did a very nice job there for the Squalicum Storm to actually run through as a Bronco buster, was what I like to call them. They're just coming straight through and making tackles. So with 47 seconds left to go before the half, what are the Wildcats going to do here, Shane?
They're going to run it. Send Hardin in motion. Oh, they're going to pass it. He does get the pass away. It's caught by LeKelt on the little bubble screen on the inside, and we got a penalty flag down late.
Well, that actually went to an offensive lineman, so that's going to be illegal touching, I'm pretty sure.
Wasn't LeKelt?
No, that was number 52 of the Wildcats who caught his first bats, Michael Gomez.
The center.
The center.
Yeah, no, that's not legal.
No.
I was guessing that it was LeKelt because I saw a 5.
Right.
So they.
But now he can say I caught a pass.
That's right. So the white hat is Yes, you're right. It's illegal touching. Illegal man, ineligible man downfield is also the call. So they're going to back it up. I think it's a 5-yard penalty. Maybe it's 10.
Well, the Wildcats had a screen pass called on that, and again, they just didn't hold their blocks just a little bit long enough. That's why that pressure got there so fast. So they got to hold their blocks for a split second longer, and they might have a little bit more success.
So first down and 15 yards to go after they march off the 5-yard penalty. The head coach for the Storm is wondering what the heck's going on. So he's getting it. Nick Lucy is getting an explanation from the white hat. I believe it's Mr. Zender out there tonight.
Okay, so I think they were talking about running the clock there.
The clock winds again. This time they hand it to LeKelt. LeKelt doesn't have a whole lot of running room. He's drugged down at the 32-yard line. That's Colin McEachran on the stop.
Yeah, so they tried to go back to that little bread and butter, little scissors play there, going up, running behind Fiskin and also Brandon McCullough, the left guard. But there was great penetration by the right defensive end for Squalicum in number 85, and I don't have him on my list, so we'll call him 85.
Going to hand it off.
Oh.
Nowhere for Mr. Harden to go. That's going to be the last play of the half. And the Wildcats are going to go into halftime down by 1. The Storm have 21, and your Wildcats have 20. So real quickly here, Jerry, before we turn it over to the halftime show, a few adjustments need to be made on defense for sure by these Wildcats. What do you think they need to do?
Well, they just got to stay home. What happened on that play is the defensive ends, or the left defensive end in particularly, broke containment. He actually crashed when he should have stayed home because that play was coming up his side. So he just really needs to follow what they've gone over all week in practice and trust what they've been taught, and they should be just fine.
Well, in offense, they've moved the ball. They've done an excellent job. They just need to keep doing what they've been doing. But what it's basically boils down to is it's not tied. We're down by 1, but it's basically tied. And
right.
We have to win the second half battle. It's just
we
what
do.
It boils down to.
And
You got to beat them.
It's too close, but that 1 point missed extra point,
that's a big deal.
That's going to hurt us.
That's a big deal.
That's going to hurt us.
So we're going to step aside because the halftime festivities will probably be a little bit longer than normal because it is homecoming. You know, the homecoming court, the band, and all that has to happen. So we're going to step aside and let you enjoy that. We'll come back on the other side, make sure you know who the homecoming royalty is, and give you a little bit more analysis and buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because second half's coming. Wildcats trail 21-20 to the Squalicum Storm for the Westco North title. Well, Cat fans, welcome back to the second half. A little bit longer time because we had some homecoming festivities. I don't know if you were able to hear the PA announcement, so I'm going to give you the homecoming royalty right now. Prince and Princess Anthony Herrera and Amber Biller. Prince and Princess Kaito Moro and Annalisa Taluniu. I'm sorry, I probably mispronounced that one. Prince and Princess Nate Nunez and Kalana McIntyre. Prince and Princess Jamie Ashton and Alyssa Bemelin. Our nominees for King and Queen were Manic Baines, Kanoa King, Natalie Hahn, Brittany McCullough. The junior attendants were Drew Leffler and Thorin Allen, Tenley Sturmans, and Jojo Chargaloff. A special thank you to Gerald Jewelry for the donation of the tiaras, Nancy Diamond Men's Warehouse for the donation of the tuxedos, and Miss Shuley and the leadership students. And it also says Go Wildcats, and we definitely need some Go Wildcats right now.
Yes, we do.
We're trailing by 1 to the Squalicum Storm with 1/2 of football left. If you're just joining us, you've missed an exciting first half of play. Actually, both teams scored 7 points in the first quarter, and then there was not a lot of scoring until late in the second, where both teams, well, the Wildcats scored 13 and the Storm scored 14 in like the last 5 minutes of the second quarter. And that's where we are right now, 21-20. And this Wildcat team needs to make some stops for an offense from the Squalicum Storm, which actually, from my vantage point in the games we've done, is the best offense we've seen all year.
Right, it really is the best offense. But what's a little bit different, and what I like to call that caveat that you cannot really plan for, is that longer halftime because of the homecoming festivities and the royalty court. It's always about tradition, welcoming those guys and welcoming the class of 1993, I believe it is. They're here for their 25th reunion, so it does take a little bit longer. So what that means is now the football players are a little bit colder out there. So it takes a moment to kind of get your legs underneath you, get your shoulder pads underneath you. But the Wildcats do get the ball to start this second half, so hopefully they're able to get themselves warm with that first drive there.
Well, at the beginning of the game, of the coin toss, the Wildcats deferred to the second half. They put their defense on the field first, and now they're going to get to start the second half on offense, and they're going to need to get their motors revved up and try to get some points early in this second half to sort of put some more pressure on the Squalicum Storm.
Yeah, that's true. And one thing I just noticed is the Wildcats did a couple of stretches real quick. They stretched their legs, quick little gasser, and Squalicum took a lot more time to warm up on the left-hand side of the field here, so I don't really know what type of impact that may have, if any. Appreciate you too, Dane Herron. Good luck this weekend, young man.
So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We got 24 minutes of football to determine the Westco North title. The winner is first in the Westco North. The loser has to wait to see what happens between Arlington and Marysville-Pilchuck to determine whether they're second or third. It just totally depends on that outcome, because one of those two teams will only have 2 losses, and one of these teams will only have 2 losses, so it depends on the head-to-head matchup.
Right. Well, let's just hopefully the Wildcats can take care of business this second half, and they were actually starting to do that by raking off big chunks of yardage with that powerful wing T run game that the Wildcats were running tonight behind the likes of Aaron Martinez and Dorian Harden back there, and also number 45 for the Wildcats, Caden LeKelt, who's 5'8", 150-pound fullback, and he's only a sophomore, and he was doing a nice job as well hitting his holes.
So Martinez and Harden are back deep for the Wildcats, and Mason Lloyd is going to tee the thing up for the Storm to get this second half underway. Kick is up. It bounces at the 10. Martinez picks it up at the 5. He's at the 20. Jumps over a couple of his players at the 25. Takes it to about the 26, where Garrett Jabora makes the stop.
Yeah, Jared Jabora there, number 44, who's 5'10", 185 pounds, did a nice job maintaining his lane integrity there, broke down, was able to make a nice, good, solid tackle on the Wildcat there.
Wildcats have it 1st and 10, balls on their own 27-yard line. Fitzgerald comes out in a double wing formation with LeKelt in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Martinez. Martinez is connected at the 25. He dives forward maybe to the 28. Jackson Campbell on the stop for the Storm.
Yeah, Jackson Campbell, that's the first time that we've called that young man's name from the Storm. He came from his from his defensive tackle position, but he's been going up against Big DeAndre, number 79 for the Wildcats, Bennett, and actually had a little bit of success.
Straight drop back pass, has a little time, finds a man in Martinez up the sideline, stays in bounds, gets the ball to the 45-yard line. He's stopped by number 1, Devontae Powell.
Yeah, Devontae Powell came from his safety position, was able to close off that perimeter and not let the young man come through with just a little dink and dunk, which is going to force the Squalicum defense. Now, one thing we're noticing, they got a 2-high safety, so right now, Squalicum's playing a cover 2, and that's going to see how much of an impact that has against the Wildcats.
Fitzgerald spins and hands the ball to LeKelt. LeKelt drags would-be tacklers over the 50-yard line into the Storm territory to the 46-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd down and 1.
Now, with the adjustment that Squalicum has made by running a cover two defense with two high safety there, what's going to happen is that should open up some running lanes for the Wildcats, which could be dangerous for Squalicum.
Fitzgerald again to LeKelt. LeKelt is met behind the line of scrimmage, but he motors his way forward. 54 Jackson Campbell on the stop, as well as number 3 Dedrick Mitchell, but not before LeKelt picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, that was a good tough yardage there. Good running gainage there by LeKelt, running right behind DeAndre Bennett, and also number 15, the tight end, Brecken Collinsworth as well.
Martinez with it this time, doesn't have any room to run. Number 54, Jackson Campbell. We've said that name like 4 times already in this second half.
Yeah,
Loss of 1.
Yeah, sorry about that, Shane. Jackson Campbell is actually beating DeAndre Bennett off the ball right now. So DeAndre, big number 79, he's going to have to get out of his stance a heck of a lot quicker than what he's doing because he's getting beat right now.
Man in motion. Harden gets it, looking for some room on the edge, gets there, but he's met immediately by number 7, Zach Tucker, and a penalty flag. I think it's because I looked away, but it's probably a late hit out of bounds. Didn't stop the tackle when they went out of bounds. That's could be the 15-yard variety.
Yeah, it should be. It should be an unsportsmanlike, unnecessary roughness. Should be 15 yards because he was already out of bounds. When you're out of bounds, there's no unnecessary to throw the guy to the ground. Just let him go. You pushed him out. He's lost some yardage, and we move on to the next play.
So it is a dead ball personal foul on the Storm. That's a 15-yard penalty. That's going to take the ball to the 30-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats after they march off those 15 yards. So 1st and 10, ball's on the Storm 30.
Now, the Storm has been, having penalties all night that could turn around and bite them in the butt.
Sherrill goes hard count, doesn't draw him off sides, checks the play. Hand off to LeKelt. LeKelt's got tons of running room. He's inside the 20, down at the 23-yard line, where the secondary stops him in Devontae Powell.
Yeah, Kelt there now. What made that play happen was number 55, Ethan Pace, the right guard of the Wildcats, was actually able to take number 54 of Squalicum, Jackson Campbell, and actually bull rush his man out of the way, open up the hole, which made that play happen. Great job.
Hand off to Martinez. Martinez gets to the 2nd level. Hit pretty hard there by number 31, Colin McEachran.
Yeah, Colin McEachran came in to clean up the mess because number 3, Derek Mitchell, came from his safety spot there, held him up, and 31 came through to clean him up.
Pickup of 3. Just noticed that DeAndre Bennett is out, so Noah Miller's in the game at right tackle right now.
Yeah, and that's kind of interesting too because something's going on with DeAndre where he may have needed a breather, and let's see if this helps him out a little bit.
Martinez cuts it back up the middle. He gets the ball to the 10-yard line. That's going to be short of a first down by about 2 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. Billy Scamell on the stop for the Storm.
Yeah, Billy Scamell with the stop there for the Storm actually came through, but guess who he ran through? He ran through DeAndre Bennett's backup player, but now DeAndre Bennett's back in there.
So 3rd down and 2. The ball is resting at the 10-yard line of the Storm. Sends a man in motion. LeKelt with it. Makes a cut. He's inside the 10. Ben's on the spot. He actually almost got to the 5, so he picked up 4 yards. That's going to be 1st and goal for the Wildcats. Jimmy Minna on the stop for the Squalicum Storm.
Yeah, that was a good job by the Oak Harbor Wildcats picking up these tough first down yardage, being persistent, not giving up on the play there and pushing their men forward to get the first down. Now we got a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, ball's on the 6. Fitzgerald spins. He's going to give it to Martinez. Martinez is met immediately, and he's going to lose a yard on the play. He's driven to the turf by number 54, Jackson Campbell.
Yeah, 54 Jackson Campbell was able to go through there, and Fiskin is a little bit slow getting up our number 54. That's not something that we want to see, but Fiskin's been he's been a tough cookie all year long. But right now, when you're at the opportunity to win a district championship, last home game, regular home game of the year here, this is where both teams tend to get a little bit banged up. So it's all about perseverance and conditioning.
Fitzgerald this time's going to pass it. He's
Nice.
got a man in
Nice
the end zone.
ball.
Touchdown, Wildcats! And that's 15, I think, isn't it? Number 15?
11.
No, 11. Aaron Martinez with the catch.
I tell you what, number 12 of the Wildcats, Caleb Fitzgerald, actually looked off the free safety, kept his eyes on the man. He thought he was throwing the post, which opened up the middle of the field and threw an absolute strike to Aaron Martinez there for the touchdown. That was all about the quarterback looking off the safety on that play. That was a great job.
So the hold, the kick, and this time it goes through. Wildcats now up 27-21. Now, Martinez was a little shaken up on that play because he took a shot to the ribs.
Yes,
but
he did.
Stayed in for that extra point. And the Wildcats did, from this broadcaster's opinion, that was a must-do right there. Drive down the field to start the third quarter and score some points. They took 5 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock, and they marched it down the field 60 yards.
Yeah. And now you got number 81 checking into the game, Darian Delgado, 5'11", 160-pound wide receiver, getting some playing time. The senior out there about to make some plays happen. And also number 2, Tristan Woodston. He's 6 foot, and he's a sophomore. So we have 4 sophomores on the kickoff team right now.
Dylander has it teed up. It actually was a 75-yard drive. I said 60, so apologize for that.
You have to work on that math skill, Shane. It's much better than mine.
Ball hits the turf at the 15. Picked up by Powell at. Oh my! And he's got nothing but green in front of him. He's going to take it to the house. He's at the 20, the 10. Touchdown for Powell. Or is that Mitchell? No, that's number 1, Powell. So on the ensuing kickoff, after the Wildcats drove the length of the field, on the kickoff they score a touchdown. So now it's 27-all with the extra point coming.
Ouch. Yeah, that's...
the Facebook Live crew is wanting the score from time to time, so I'll try to do a better job of that. 27-all right now in favor. All knotted up, but the Storm have an extra point coming. So Mason Lloyd doing the kicking duties. The kick is up, and it is good. So the Storm, just like that, have gone back up by 1, 28-27 on no plays, just a return to the kickoff.
That pesky missed PAT. Just that 1 point.
Still in the third quarter. quarter.
It is.
So.
It is, but it's a pesky 1 point.
Well, and it's great for the Storm to get that. Their fans are excited about that, but their defense was just on the field for 5 minutes of this quarter, and they got a 20-second breather, and they got to come back on the field. So to me, that favors the Wildcats.
It really does, because our guys are conditioned for that. We're just going to have to take advantage of that and just kind of, they threw a punch, we fell down. Now it's time for us to throw our uppercut and make them fall down.
Yeah, this is just two heavyweights going toe-to-toe right now, exchanging blows.
Well, this is what championships are about, though, right?
Right. It's exciting football. So back deep, Martinez and Harden. And to kick it in Harden's direction this time. He takes it at the 4. He's at the 15, the 20, cuts it outside, looking for some running room, gets to the edge, gets to the 25. Stepped out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. Looks like they're going to mark it about the 26, where the Wildcats take over, 1st and 10.
Yeah, that was a good run there by Dorian Harden, trying to use his speed to get to the outside. But I'm pretty sure right now they're going to. Coach Fisher is probably going to come back with a nice, good trap play, because right now they're averaging about 4 to 4.5 yards a carry on just that play alone. Because 54, you talked about, those guys were just on the field for 5 minutes. You can already see him holding his hips because he's still trying to catch his breath.
So 1st and 10, ball's on the 26 after a 22-yard kickoff return. Martinez in motion. They hand it to LeKelt. LeKelt gets knocked down from behind. Actually, wait a second. Yeah, it was LeKelt on the carry. Dominic Mack on the stop. LeKelt picked up 1. Going to call it 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Dominic Mack was able to get some penetration there from his D-tackle position, was able to actually move Brandon McCullough out of the way. So Brandon McCullough, again, is going to have to use his hand speed to his advantage.
This time the ball is given to Martinez. Martinez is at the 30, drugged down to the 33-yard line. It's 11. Tristan Gwynn. No, Spencer Lloyd. Sorry, Spencer Lloyd on the stop for the Storm.
Now, we're calling Spencer Lloyd's name here, but what's really tough is the fact that we are going to have to, if we can keep him on the field and keep him tired, he's their quarterback. So maybe we can wear him down.
So it's 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Ball's on the 32-yard line. This time Harden goes in motion. They give it to him. He's looking for the edge. He doesn't have anywhere to go, and he's brought down at the 30. That's a loss of 2 yards. Zach Tucker makes the stop, and the Wildcats are going to have to punt the football away. In comes Cameron Asinison.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Squalicum defense is not going to give up the outside to Dorian right now. So Dorian's going to have to make a little bit of move and have to make some plays. He's just going to have to cut that up much sooner, because that outside right now is not going to be there.
Snap is good. Sinison gets his foot into it. It hits off of a Squalicum Storm player, and the Wildcats recover it at their 41-yard line of the Storm. Jake Mitten with the recovery.
Yeah, that was a great play by the Wildcats there. Jake Mitten in the right place at the right time. Talk about a big break for the Wildcats. Holy mackerel.
That right there is high school football.
Yeah, don't get no better than that.
Change of momentum just on the drop of a dime.
Exactly, but right now we are running this defense ragged, and that's exactly what the Wildcats want to do.
So now we have the ball 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line of the Storm. It's going to be a pass this time for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald has Martinez in the middle of the field, and we got a penalty flag that flies in late. On the stop was number 54, Jackson Campbell, who has come out of nowhere in the second half and he's at least 6 tackles in this second half.
Yeah, Jackson Campbell, right there, he's at the right place at the right time. Now, one thing that I did notice that Jackson Campbell did from his spot there on the defensive side of the ball is he just played in space. He played in area, didn't have to rush, didn't have to move. played a little bit of zone, sat right there. Play came right to him, made a nice tackle.
So there was an ineligible man downfield. So that brings the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, and then they mark off 5 yards. So now it's going to be first down and 15. The ball's on the 46-yard line. Wildcats trail by a score 28-27 with 4:28 remaining in the third quarter. Fitzgerald sends Harden in motion. Harden with the jet sweep. He cuts back. Finds a very, very small crease that closes in a hurry. Number 50, Cesar Vasquez on the stop for the Storm. 76 also picks himself up off that pile. That's Dominic Mack.
Yeah, Vasquez right there actually did a really nice job coming from his nose tackle position there, making a great play on the ball, getting rid of his block. Wildcats are going to have to bounce back.
Second down, 14. Drop back pass, has plenty of time.
Oh,
Sets up the screen, but it's knocked down by number 50, Vasquez. Incomplete pass. It's going to be third down and 14.
well, right now the Wildcats actually kind of tipped their hand to that play. So the Squalicum Storm actually went back into a cover 2, playing a nice little bit of zone there for those guys, and they weren't fooled at all by Fitzgerald looking off the left-hand corner there. Saw he was going to go underneath, and it wasn't there. They batted the ball down because that's what defensive linemen are taught to do. If you can't get to the quarterback, stick your hands up, knock the ball down.
So third down, 14 yards to go. Ball's on the 45-yard line of the Storm. It's a drop back pass once again. Fitzgerald looking deep. He's got Harden. Harden makes an unbelievable one-handed catch. He brings it into his body, and it is a complete pass. The ball is at the 12-yard line.
Yeah. Woo! You seen Odell Beckham? Guess who we got? We got Dorian Harden. You take that and put that in the bank.
33-yard pass completion, an amazing reception, connection from Fitzgerald to Harden, first and 10.
Yeah, that right there was a fantastic ball. Fitzgerald's been just on it all night tonight.
Turns and hands it to LeKelt. LeKelt gets inside the 10-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 4-yard line where it's going to be second down and 1.
Yeah, the Wildcats right now are doing a nice, good job by marching down the field, trying to make sure that they are holding on, keeping this defensive tired on the field, and that's what we want because that falls into the Wildcat trap.
Martinez goes in motion, resets.
Talk
hand
about
to
trap.
LeKelt pushes the pile forward. It's going to depend on the spot. He comes in, the line judge does, and marks it first down, but the ball's inside the 1-yard line, first and goal.
I mean, man. Okay, do you pound it or do you hit the outside?
Pound it. LeKelt, baby. Give it to LeKelt.
Give it to LeKelt. I like it.
Fitzgerald gives it to LeKelt. Bounces off one tackler. Touchdown, Wildcats.
And just like that, you've been LeKelt to the interior side of the lineman for 6. Wildcats 33, Storm 28. We talked about this being a heavyweight fight from the very beginning, right? Left, right, up a hook.
So
there
now,
it is.
Now we need to protect ourselves and don't take any more shots.
Exactly. But to the Wildcats' defense, though, guess what? Squalicum has been on the field for the last 15, almost 12, 15 minutes, seems like, right?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Last 10 minutes.
So if they've been on the field for 10 minutes, 8 of their 11 starters are on defense. So they're going to be tired.
So Minton, with the hold of Fitzgerald, kicks it through the uprights. So now the Wildcats are up by a score of 34-28 with 2:20 remaining in the third quarter of play. And this heavyweight fight just gets more and more interesting. The battle of the two teams that are 6-1, 4-1 in league, fighting for the Westco North title.
Yes, they are. They're fighting for the championship, and right now the Wildcat faithful, they are full of enthusiasm. Everybody's got purple hair. It's homecoming night. Alumni is back. All the young kids who are forever 29 are back, probably closer to 50. But Forever 29, they're even having a good time.
So, special teams coach, I'm sure has communicated to his team that's on the field right now. You got to go make a tackle, everybody.
He's got to, but it's just maintaining your lane integrity down there. That's the biggest thing. And number 9 for the Wildcats.
Nope, it's Mitten this time.
Well, he's kidding, but number 9 is on the outside. Okay. So he has to maintain that lane control if they kick it to that side, but they're going to squib kick it. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, don't give Powell a chance to return it. Now it's number 2 with it, breaks one tackle. That's Bryce Pinnock, who gets the ball out to about the 40-yard line, brought down by number 71, Joseph Orr. Oh, sorry, Ezra DeStrong. Sorry, Dieterong, according to Jay Long. I'm going to go with that.
There you go. I'm going with that, too, because that's what Jay said. Whatever Jay says always goes with the names.
All right, so this is the first opportunity with 2:12 remaining in the third quarter that the Squalicum Storm offense has been on the field.
They have, but what their most dangerous weapon, though, was number 10, and that's Spencer Lloyd at the quarterback position.
So Lloyd hands it off to Powell. Powell's looking for running room around the right, and he's got a ton of it.
Oh, geez.
He's got first down yardage inside Wildcat territory and brought out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Powell knocked him out of bounds, I believe. Kelvin Wepley also got himself over there to get on the play. It was Powell that was carrying the football. First and 10 for the Storm. They're inside Wildcat territory at the 43-yard line. Lloyd this time is going to run it to his left. It's a designed run. Gets it to the 40-yard line. Brought down by, was that 26, Brendan Anderson on the stop.
Yeah, Brendan Anderson did a nice job there by maintaining that integrity. You got Fiskin checking in right now. They're trying to keep their defensive linemen sharp because they have to maintain that integrity of the outside from the defensive end position because they cannot get sucked in by this quarterback because he will gash you for big yardage.
Ball's handed off to Powell. Powell has nowhere to go because Martinez gets in there and stuffs him.
Yes, he did. Martinez came from his linebacker position, and all night we've been calling that young man's name because he's slicing and dicing, finding the hole, getting in and bringing the wood every single time he comes through and putting these guys out to the woodshed.
So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. The ball's now resting on the 41-yard line. Spencer Powell barks out some calls, then looks to the sideline. This time he's going to pass it, looking to his right. He has a man. It's caught and cut back up the middle, gets the first down. Completed to Dedrick Mitchell. On the coverage out there was number 7, Dorian Harden. And Schultz was there to make the stop.
I tell you what, right there, the Squalicum had the right play called. They ran a 10-yard out, and that was actually a perfect route run by the Storm wide receiver there. He actually put a little bit of a shake and bake move on Dorian, was able to get some good separation, ran it perfectly, put his hands out from his body, made a nice catch, first down Squalicum.
So Lloyd this time fakes the handoff, runs it straight up the middle, gets into the secondary. He's tackled by number 11, Aaron Martinez. Gets the ball to the 25-yard line, picks up 6. It's going to be 2nd down and 4. And we have got 8 seconds remaining and counting in the third quarter, and looks like they're going to get one more playoff. And no, they decide not to. They're going to change into the field and be happy with the third quarter being down by 6, 34-28 in favor of the Wildcats with 12 minutes remaining in the football game, and the Squalicum Storm threatening to score.
Too close for comfort.
So we've done a couple other broadcasts this year, and over the years, most of the time it's a fairly comfortable game. I think I can count maybe on one hand, maybe 1.5 hands, how many games we've broadcasted have been this back and forth and this close. And this is just exciting Friday Night Lights in Oak Harbor, Wesco North football.
I mean, it really is, especially with the score being 34-28. It's just really, really, really close. But we had talked about, you know, a good championship game. You're not going to see blowouts. Squalicum actually matches up really well against the Wildcat front seven, or excuse me, their front five there, and they're doing a really good job. But what the Wildcats are doing is they're not panicking. They're running their offense, doing what they're doing, and I got to give it up to Coach Fisher. He's calling one heck of a game tonight.
All right, so the defense needs to tighten down a bit. It's 2nd down and 4 yards to go. The ball's on the 25-yard line of the Wildcats. Lloyd in the shotgun formation, fakes the handoff, decides to run it right up the middle. It's going to be close to a 1st down yardage. He had to get to the 21. Doesn't get there. He gets to the 22, so it's 3rd down and 1.
So every time they go hurry up, it's always the QB who's got the ball in his hand, number 10.
Lloyd's going to follow his back through the hole, gets to the secondary, tackled by number 34 of the Wildcats. That is Kevin Schultz.
Yeah, that's nice to see Kevin Schultz out there coming from his safety spot, making a good tackle. You know, that young man used to be a left-handed quarterback, but now he's playing safety out there laying big hits, knocking people out. That's a good thing to be right there.
1st and 10, ball's on the 12-yard line. This time it's a fake handoff, gets the ball away, but he had to throw it in a hurry because of the pressure, does Lloyd. The ball is intended for 31, Cullen McEachran.
Yeah, the big fella, big number 66 for the Wildcats, Keegan Daniels, I believe. How big is Keegan?
Keegan Daniels is 6'2", 280.
Yeah, he came through with a lot of pressure with DeAndre Bennett on the other side.
So Lloyd turns and looks to the sideline, checks the play, fakes the handoff, looking for some running room, puts his shoulder down, gets inside the 10-yard line, brought down by number 45, Caden LeKelt. 3rd down, ball's on the 6, 3rd down and 6, ball's on the 9. This is probably 4-down territory.
Oh, yeah, if you're this close, you almost have to. But right now, the Wildcats have to be disciplined, but they cannot go for the fake because right now they're set up for the jet sweep coming off the left-hand side there with number 10.
And it's a fake.
There it is.
Oh, good tackle right there by 54. Fiskin from behind drags down Lloyd for a short gain. So it's going to be 4th down and 3 yards to go. The ball is now on the 6-yard line.
Yeah, I like the idea of what the defensive coordinator's calling with DeAndre Bennett and also big number 66 for the Wildcats, Daniels.
So 4th down, the scoreboard says it's 4 yards to go. Ball's on the 6, and the Storm call a timeout because this is an important 4th and 4.
Now, what play are they set up for right now coming from Squalicum? There's a couple things. They either can run a quick post, there's a quick skinny post up the middle. That's been wide open right now because they've set them so far up with the run. If they run just a quick fake on that sweep, that's going to force the linebackers and the linemen to keep chasing the quarterback, which is going to open up the middle of the field. So they're going to have to play disciplined defense on the second half of the field there by the DBs. If they can do that, I think they're going to be fine.
So then if you think they're going to pass, you bring pressure?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think you protect the sticks, but I do not think you bring pressure.
All right. Well, we'll see. I think they're going to leave it in the hands of number 10 and let him run it. With Spencer Lloyd. So a big 4th down and 4 right here. Man in motion. Lloyd fakes the handoff right up the middle. Touchdown for the Storm. They've tied this thing up with 9:59 remaining in the fourth quarter. And the extra point is coming.
Yeah, 34-34, just like that. And what's missing?
They are extra point.
I hate that thing.
Now, this kicker has come close to missing.
He has. We just got to get the
So-
pressure. Now, we're bringing pressure from our left side versus our right side this time with Dorian Harden.
Snap, the kick,
Oh,
and it goes through. So just like that, the Storm now are up 35-34 with 9:59 remaining in the football game.
man. Well, just like that.
All right, well, hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen, because the last 10 minutes are going to be fun.
Yes, they are. This is a great contest going on right now, and oh, man.
Blow after blow, they just keep exchanging touchdowns. And actually, every time one team has scored, the other team has answered on the very next possession. And that's just the way this one's gone. So it looks like right now, whoever has the football last will win this football game.
Let's hope that's the case, because right now we need that long 10-minute drive right here.
10-minute drive with a score would be perfect.
Yes, it would.
Well, 9:59 drive.
You're right.
So a little pooch kick taken by Wepley at the 35-yard line. He wisely just, that is Wepley. He wisely just takes the ball and goes to a knee. Well, the Wildcats will have it 1st and 10.
Yeah, that's a good job there by Wepley. Smart play. Just retain possession. Get your offense on the field. Take a deep breath. Let's just go back to work. Grind it out like we can do and like we've been doing all year.
All right, Fitzgerald in the offense. They send Harden in motion. They give it to LeKelt. He makes one man miss at the line of scrimmage, dives forward, picks up 3. And Fiskin is slow to get up. 7 is on the tackle. Jackson Campbell on the stop. Also Zach Tucker in there picking himself up off the pile.
Yeah,
Campbell, somebody needs to block him. I'm calling his name way too much.
You really are. But right now he's going over DeAndre Bennett. DeAndre Bennett's just a little slow coming out the gates there, and I'm surprised that was not offsides.
This time they give it to Martinez around the right side. He bulls his way forward outside the 40-yard line. Colin McEachran with the stop. Gets it to the 41. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. Fitzgerald. LeKelt. Kelt doesn't have a whole lot of space to run right there, but he does pick up 2. But that's going to bring up, actually they're going to mark it as 1 yard. It's going to bring up 4th down and 3. Decision time for the Wildcats with the ball resting on their 42-yard line, and they send Fitzgerald back out there. So the decision's been made. They're going for it. 4th down and 3, ball on their own 42. I'm expecting a hard count right here, try to draw him off sides. They send a man in motion. They give it to LeKelt. LeKelt goes forward, gets the ball to the 45, gets outside the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 Wildcats. That was a heck of a push by the entire offensive line.
Yeah, that was a heck of a push, but most importantly there, LeKelt, that was one heck of a second effort. He kept his shoulder pads down low, kind of flashbacks of John Landingham or an Adam Sampson back there from the fullback spot, keeping his pads low, his legs moving, and getting the 1st down.
That shows you the confidence that Coach Fisher has in his offensive line to get that taken care of. Harden with it this time. He cuts up. He gets it to the 50-yard line where he's brought down by number 7, Tucker, and big number 76 also there, Dominic Mack, to make the stop. Pickup of 5 yards. 2nd down and a long 5. The ball is inside Storm territory. Straight up the middle of Kelt. He's met right at the line of scrimmage and pushed backwards, but That's number 54 in the mess again. Jackson Campbell. That young man, 6'3", 240. He's a senior. He has been Johnny on the spot all second half.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we got some people chiming in on our Facebook feed here. We got good old Frank Smith here, alumni athlete. Sly Green, another alumni for homecoming.
3rd down and 5. Ball's on the 45-yard line of the Storm. Again, LeKelt gets it. He's going around the left. He's pushed backwards, but not brought down.
Whoa.
That's 31, I believe, is the number. 31. That's Colin McEachran on the stop. Big Jackson Campbell again there. He picked up 3 that time, though. It's going to be 4th down and 2. They went for it on their own 42. Might as well go it on their 46.
Hey, why not? And see what happens, right?
Well, with the last 3 plays going right on the inside, got some outside set up, but we'll see what
so
they've got dialed up.
they're probably going to run a pinch right here.
Give it to LeKelt. Oh, second effort. LeKelt's going to get there.
I tell you what. Yep.
Second effort and the spot. I think he's got the first down. They might measure this, but
that looks good to me.
Looks good to me. Give it to him. Give it to him. They're going to stop the clock and measure it.
Tell you what, that second effort right there is shades of just anybody who's ran the fullback position, you know, here at Oak Harbor, because running that double wing, you've got to be one tough fullback, and right there, 45 for the Wildcats. LeKelt there is showing why he belongs in that position.
Come on. It's got to be enough. Nose of the football. We got it. Come on. Come on.
Yep.
Yeah! First down, Wildcats. Yes, I am a Wildcat fan, and I'm not going to hide it.
Oh, that's all right. We're definitely biased on Channel 21 Wildcat TV.
That's right.
And also the Facebook Live show here.
That could have been a difference maker right there with only 6 minutes remaining in the football game, 6:04 to be exact. But the Wildcats do get the first down, 1st and 10, ball on the 44-yard line of the Storm, and they wind that clock up. Again, LeKelt gets it around the left side. He picks up 5 before he's even touched. 54, Campbell on the stop. Also, McEachran there. He gets it to the 40, so he picks up 4 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 yards to go.
I tell you what, right now they ran right behind Michael Gomez, number 52, the Oak Harbor Wildcat center there. Actually handled business with his nose tackle, got him out of the way, and actually made a nice big hole with a running lane for the fullback to run through.
And this time it's Martinez around the right, cuts back in the middle, gets to the 35, and drives his legs. Gets to the 33-yard line where that'll be a 1st and 10 after a 7-yard pickup. 1st and 10, ball's now going to be on the 33 of the Storm, and that clock continues to wind. 5:13 and counting remaining in the football game. Fitzgerald this time bubble screen to Hardin, and that lane closed in a hurry, to say the least. Good tackle made by, I think it's number 4. Yep, Ashton Taktakin. I can't say that name, and he's hobbling just a little bit, getting himself off the football field.
That's not a bad thing for us, so we'll get some cold legs on the field, and number 21 there of Mason Lloyd. Now, with that also being said, number 16, Tyler Rummel, actually had a pretty nice block, and I thought they were going to run the fake bubble screen on that because they would have had the wheel route to the outside on that.
They hand it to Hardin on the jet sweep around the left to the short side. He gets it inside the 30, close to the 35-yard line. I think they're going to mark it right at the 35 where it'll be 3rd down and 1. Zach Tucker on the stop.
Yeah, Zach Tucker did a nice, good job there. It's 3rd and 1, excuse me, of the Wildcats. So to be kind of curious, they might just run a good trap play because right now Gomez is having his way with number 76 of Squalicum, the nose tackle, McCluskey.
They send in motion Harden again. This time he's got the football again, and he gets to the 20, inside the 20, close to the 15. They're going to mark him down at the 17, 1st and 10, Wildcats.
I'll tell you what, Mason Lloyd of Squalicum tried to tackle Dorian Harden high with arms. You cannot tackle that young man that high and just use your arms. You got to wrap that young man up and hold on for dear life. If you arm tackle Dorian Harden all night, that's what's going to happen.
1st and 10, balls at the 17. 3:24 remaining in the football game.
Oh.
That time is the Wildcats that jumped off. That's 58 or 56. Noah Miller, I believe. No, left. 58. That's Brendan McCullough that jumped offside. So false start. Back it up 5 yards. Going to be 1st and 15. The ball's going to be on the 22-yard line.
Yeah, that's a tough penalty to have when you're that close to pay dirt with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left. The offense is doing what it's supposed to do. Take the time off the clock, but you can't go backwards.
Harden in motion. This time they're going to pass it. Oh, and Fitzgerald goes down. 30. No, that's 10. That's number 10, Spencer Lloyd, the quarterback that gets in there from his defensive end position. And that backs him up even more.
Yes, it does.
Loss of like 5 more on that play, so it's going to be 2nd down and 19 with the ball resting on the 26-yard line.
Well, what happened on that, they ran a stunt on the outside, and the fullback actually did not call switch, so DeAndre actually went inside with his guy and left the outside end untouched.
Bubble screen to Harden. Harden down the sideline. He's drug out of bounds at the 17-yard line. So they're back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Now, one play that we have not seen come up yet, which is set up, is their counter boot right, which they have the backside post. They also have a dig route, and they also have a drag coming across the middle, and they are set up perfectly for that.
Well, it is 4-down territory right here, so you got 2 plays to pick up a 1st down. Fitzgerald gonna roll to his right.
There it is. Yep.
Got a man.
There it is.
Touchdown,
I called it.
Wildcats. Touchdown, Wildcats to number 34, Kevin Schultz. 17-yard pass from pay dirt, and the Wildcats are now up by a score of 40-35.
I called that one, buddy.
You did.
Backside
So they're
post.
going to go for 2.
I like it.
Up by 5. The Wildcats are going to call a timeout.
Smart.
And it looks like they're going to go for 2 with 2:20 remaining in the football game, which is probably a good call because there is enough time for this Storm team to put it in the end zone.
There really is. So now the biggest thing on that play call right there, Fisher has been, so typically he calls that play about 3-4 times a night. He hasn't called it once. They were set up perfectly for that. I know for a fact he knew that he saw one high safety. You see a one high safety like that, you just run a little boot, that backside post is going to be open all night. But most importantly, they have to make sure that quarterback is on the money, and our QB is on the money. And you're very right.
I wish I was able to keep track of the stats of Fitzgerald tonight, because I think he's only not completed 1 pass tonight, maybe 2, and he's got, I think, 2 or 3 touchdowns on the passing tonight. So it's been a heck of a game for him. And right here, the Wildcats are at the 2.5-yard line. The extra point going for 2. They need to find a way to get this football in the end zone to go up by 7. They send Harden in motion. They're going to pass it. Here comes pressure from the backside, and it gets there. So no on the 2-point conversion. So the Wildcats are only up by 5, 40-35 with 2:20 remaining, and that means it puts the game in the hands of the defense of the Wildcats. Woo! This has been an exciting one.
Yes, it has.
40-35, 2:20 remaining. And they took 7 minutes and 39 seconds off the clock.
That's big.
And 17 plays and ended in pay dirt. They went for 2 because they're up by 5. Didn't work out. Now the defense has got to do their job.
They do have to do their job, and with the district championship on the line, 40-35. I mean, they have got to hold him right here, but they got to find a way to shut down Spencer Lloyd of Squalicum, because he's well over $140 tonight rushing. So that young man right there, they got to find a way to make a good tackle on him.
Well, if they got a linebacker spy defense, spy the quarterback, I think that's what you got to run right now. Is put somebody on him the whole time and don't let him get loose. So Minton has it teed up at the 40. He's set to kick it away to Powell and Mitchell. And he's going to do the pooch kick to about the 30, where it's run and down. That's number 12 with the football. That's Trevor Austin, and the stop was made by number 9, William Dylander.
Dylander from the New Zealander.
New Zealander. So they brought it to the 38-yard line, where they're going to have it 1st and 10 with 2:17 remaining in the football game.
I tell you what, I'm a big fan. I know we're on defense right now, but I'm a big fan of the Wildcats' Caleb Fitzgerald. That young man is actually pretty fun to watch this offense.
I would have to 100% agree with you, Jerry. So now, Spencer Lloyd, the 6', 190-pound senior, leading his team out there. He fakes the pass. He run it right up the middle. He's going to run it for a touchdown in one play.
Jesus.
And now at 2:07 remaining in the game, they just scored 6, so they're going to be up by 1 with the extra point coming, but they left 2 minutes and 7 seconds on the clock. And just like that, one play later, the Storm are in the lead, 41-40.
Let's go.
So the
this is where I kind of get in my feelings.
The extra the extra points are the difference right now in this football game.
40-41.
And kind of a hush just sort of fell over the Wildcat faithful with the kind of disbelief that it happened that quickly.
Well, again, they broke contain on the outside with the defensive ends. They cannot crash in. You got to stay home when you have a scat back QB like they have.
So up by 1, the Storm elect to go for 2 as well to make the game up by 3. They send a man in motion. They're going to pass it. And that was a heck of a double move right there by Dante Powell. And so it's completed, 2-point conversion. Now it's the Storm 43, the Wildcats 40. And that's kind of big too, because a field goal ties it, which I don't know that the Wildcats have attempted a field goal all season.
They haven't.
And a touchdown with a 1-point conversion puts you down by 4 if you're the Storm. So, then they got to get a touchdown. So I think it's a wise move to go for 2 right there.
There is now there's a couple of plays that Fisher hasn't run that they are set up for. So I understand what this wing T offense is. I've been in it since high school, ran it in Cedro Woolley. So, I grew up in the same system as him. He has his fake. He also has his fake counter boot still, because he's going to have a seam on the inside, but he also has his fakes between his quick screens to Dorian with running the wheel route on the outside. So it just depends on how they want to set it up and how they want to play it, but they also can run their counter sallies to the inside.
So they flip-flopped at the last second. Harden moved to the right. He got the football at the 5. Gonna look, tackled really high. Brought down at the 20-yard line. That's number 7, Zach Tucker on the stop. Harden gets about 15 on the return. It's 2:01 remaining in the football game. The Wildcats have 2 timeouts, and they got to march 80 yards to get a touchdown. And I think if they can get it to about the 7, they probably can go for a field goal.
Well, we got the New Zealander who's got the leg.
It's going to be a bubble screen out to Harden. Harden couldn't break a tackle. He picks up, I'm going to give him 5 on it. I guess they marked him at the 21, so it's a 4-yard a 4-yard pickup, 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, well-
144 and counting.
And I'm telling you, that fake bubble screen is going to be wide open when they run it.
Roll out pass, gets it to LeKelt. LeKelt's going to try to get out of bounds.
Yep.
Does he?
Yep.
He does get out of bounds. Good job. Didn't quite get enough for the first down, but he does get out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd down, and I'm going to call it 2.
Well, we have 2 timeouts remaining, and that's going to be pretty important with 1:30 left, down by 3 in the 4th.
Fitzgerald this time rolls to his left.
No.
Oh, he broke a tackle. Breaks another one, gets the ball out. Oh, intercepted.
No.
Intended receiver was Schultz. Schultz had an attempt at it, but it was intercepted by the Storm, number 4. That's Ashton Toktokin. And with 1:19 remaining, the Storm have the football at the Wildcats' 47-yard line.
That pass was intended for Kevin Schulte, number 34 of the Wildcats. Right now, we got an injured player on the field, a Squalicum. But that right there, you know, when you're down by 3, we had some time. You don't want to take a sack, but you also don't want to throw an interception neither.
Fitzgerald did a heck of a job of getting away from one tackler. He actually got away from 2 tacklers. Pass intended for Schultz, thrown a little bit high, and they both went up fighting for it, and the Storm came down with it for the first turnover of the football game, actually.
Yeah. Oh.
I think that's
any given Friday.
I know.
Friday Night
Anything
Lights.
could happen. And that is actually the person that's Toktokin who intercepted the pass. And he was hobbled by a little bit of an ankle injury, it looked like earlier in the game. He came back, just made one heck of a play for his Storm team. So now we'll see what happens with 2 timeouts. With 2 timeouts, the Storm will have to try to get to a first down, because if they just kneel on it, there'll be a little time left when they have to give it back to the Wildcats after 4th down. So we'll see what they elect to do.
First attempt is Squalicum on the Wildcat 47-yard line.
So Lloyd decides to run it. He gets it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line, stopped by Dorian Harden. The clock continues to wind. It doesn't look like the Wildcats are going to use their timeouts. So that clock just continues to wind down. 45 seconds remaining. 2nd down, 2 yards to go. Shotgun formation again. Penalty flag comes out. It's going to be delay of game.
Penalty flag on the field, delay of game against Squalicum.
Backs them up 5 yards. 37.4 seconds remaining. Wildcats trail by 3.
Ball at the Wildcat 44-yard line.
You know, that's one thing about high school sports. I mean, there's a lot of ups, there's a lot of downs, but in the grand scheme of things, it just teaches a lot of lessons.
Yes. So the Wildcats, unfortunately, they're gonna lose this one. With 37 seconds remaining, they're down by 3. They need the football back to have a chance, and I don't think they're gonna get it back.
Oh,
Lloyd keeps it.
Timeout.
And now they use a timeout, so it's possible that they could get the football back and have a chance at this thing. I'm trying to check the score of the Pilchuck game, but it has not been updated. No gain on that play, so it's going to bring 3rd down and 7 with 32.4 seconds remaining. 44-yard on the 44-yard line. So actually, not using the first timeout there by Coach Turner. That was a smart move because now it's 3rd down and 7. If they can hold them, they call a timeout. Then then the Storm have to make a decision: punt it away, do a play, because at the end of that play on 4th down, the clock will stop.
Right. Well, that's why Jay Turner's the head coach of the Wildcats, made the right call not to call a timeout, anticipating that Squalicum was going to go ahead and actually take the penalty of a delay.
All right, 3rd down 7, 32.4 seconds remaining. An imperative stop right here to give a chance for the Wildcats to get the football back. They leave it in the hands of their quarterback. He's going to get tackled for a loss. An immediate timeout for the Wildcats. It's back to the original line of scrimmage. 4th down and 10. The ball's going to be at the 47-yard line of the Wildcats. And I think we're going to see that little squib kick again that we saw before, because there's 27.8 seconds remaining. So it's very possible the Wildcats can get the football back with about 20 seconds remaining in the game, which will give them a play or two.
I would love to see a fake 311, which is a wheel on the outside. They ran the bubble screen on the left-hand side of Dorian, so they know they're going to try and get the ball into Dorian. So why not run a pump fake to him, let him hit the corner on a wheel route, and that should open him up, because Kevin Schulte, number 34, actually runs great routes to the inside and is a possession receiver.
So it's 4th down and 10 yards to go. The quarterback is in the formation shotgun.
Oh!
So there's a penalty flag before the snap. It's going to be offsides on the defense on the hard count. So it's going to mark him off, step it off 5 yards. So now it's 4th down and 5. The ball's on the 42-yard line. So 4th and 5 is a little more manageable than 4th and 10.
I'm in my feelings right now, ladies and gentlemen.
They're trying to get him to jump off sides again. This time it doesn't work. Little pooch kick is coming. Wildcats need to get down there and touch the football. Okay. So I was close. I said we'd have about 20 seconds remaining if they pooch kicked it. Now we got 21.5.
Yeah, well, we got an extra 1.5, and they're saying 1.5.
So we only got to march it 87 yards.
And no timeouts.
In 21.5 seconds.
I'm telling you, fake 311. It's wide open.
Okay, well,
it's wide open.
Nobody knows that number.
It's
of what it will look like.
Look, there it is.
Okay.
So Dorian right there, he runs a wheel. It's right there. It's wide open if they run it. I guarantee it.
This is why we pay Jerry the big bucks.
It's
big
wide
bucks,
open.
Because he has coached against and played in this offense, so he can see it.
It's there. It's just like their 26 counter boot. It was wide open.
And the crazy thing is with 21.5 seconds, it's still possible, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to your hope. Don't let it go.
The hope is here. Hope is here.
We got some fast young men on this team. If they find a seam, I think there's a gear that Dorian Harden has that we haven't seen yet.
That's right. And a senior night,
too. And it's
too.
called Down by 3 with 21.6 seconds, 5 seconds to go. It's a different gear.
It's there. Come on.
All right. Here we go. Coming out of the timeout. Drop back pass.
No.
Incomplete pass. 16.8 seconds remaining. Fitzgerald's arm was hit as it was moving forward. Incomplete pass. So like 4.3 seconds came off the clock.
Run the fake.
2nd down and 10. Coach Oliver is asking for the whatever 311.
The fake 311. I'm telling you, it's wide open. You got your safety here, number 8. If you run that play, he comes down. takes the wheel route. Dorian Harden on the outside is wide open.
Harden goes wide to the bottom of your screen. Fitzgerald's
There it
gonna
is.
drop back
There's the
pass.
fake.
Has him. Harden in and out of the hands of Harden. He tried to run just before he had it. 12.1 seconds remaining with 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
That's why I don't have a gig at ESPN. I'd be in my feelings way too much. Hey, by the way, the broadcast communication kids are doing a really good job filming tonight. So I just want to give a shout out to those kids. I know they get here early after school and work their butts off.
Fitzgerald drops back pass, bubble screen to Harden. Harden's got some room on the outside. He's going to get the 1st down and then gets out of bounds about the 30-yard line where there's 7 seconds remaining. And now they've got 71 yards to get down the field.
2:12, which is a fake to the other side.
And what it's looking like right now is the Storm are sending 3 guys, and they're dropping 8. Whereas all night long they've had 8 guys in the box. Now they've got 7 guys up in the box. Roll out for Fitzgerald. Looking back the other way. Incomplete to Harden. 2 seconds remaining, so 1 play remaining.
This is either going to be really fantastic or I'm going to have a long drive to Pasco tonight for some softball action. Well, I'm still going to have that anyways.
2nd down, 10 yards to go for the Wildcats. They trail by 3 to the Squalicum Storm with 2 seconds remaining.
Last play of the game, ladies and gentlemen.
It boils down to this play right here. Harden went wide to the top of the screen. Going to do a bubble screen out to him. He gets 1 block, breaks a tackle. He's got to do a whole lot of dancing around. He's tackled at the 47-yard line, and that's it. The Squalicum Storm have come into Wildcat Stadium, beat the Wildcats by a score of 43-40, and win the Wesco North title. Wildcats fought hard. They played a great game and came up a little bit short. And you know what? My hat's off to the entire staff, coaching staff of the Wildcats, the entire football team, because they've only lost 2 games this year by a total of 4 points.
Right. I mean, all games have been close, but that right there, that was good championship football right there for the Wildcats. They fought very hard to the end. You can't be mad. You can be a little sad, but you cannot be mad.
They did what they could do. They ended up a little bit short on the scoreboard. They played a great game. 1 turnover is probably the difference in this thing right now. And but all in all, they played great. Now what we got to wait for is the results of the Marysville-Pilchuck-Arlington game.
That's right. That's what we got to do.
If Arlington wins, the Wildcats will be in 3rd place in the Wesco North. If Marysville-Pilchuck wins, the Wildcats will be 2nd.
Right.
Either way, next week they travel down south to Wesco South teams. If they're 2nd out of the Wesco North, they'll play the 2 team from down there. I'll check here in a second. I might know who that is. If they are 3rd, they'll play the 3rd place team down there for seeding into the playoffs. So the Wildcats, unfortunately came in, get this loss, and now they just got to see and wait which position they're in. But they need to be proud of themselves. They need to not hang their heads. They need to just know that they got some more to do next weekend, next Friday night, and get a chance to get into seeding. They're going to get into the playoffs. But now it just determined whether or not they're 2nd or 3rd on whether or not we'll get to see them at home again this year.
Right. Well, I tell you what, it's always fun to come back and call some football games for the Wildcats, and you always want to get out of here with the win. But right now, I'm absolutely proud of these Wildcats. They fought hard on homecoming in front of a sold-out crowd of Wildcat Memorial Stadium. And, these kids have got to feel really good about themselves. Way to put the distractions away tonight. Because, these are always trap games. And these guys came out and performed really well. The coaches coached hecka well tonight. Yes, I used the word hecka because that's the word of the day. And just can't say enough about these young men.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I won't be able to tell you whether or not we have another home game or not, but next week they travel down to the West Coast South schools, and they either play the 2 seed from down there, which is Shorewood. They locked that up already, and I don't know who's in third place at this point in time. I can check here in a second. But one of the things, if you haven't had the chance to do it, you need to come out and see the Wildcat varsity volleyball team play. They've been packing the house and just been having a great time. They have an 8-3 record. I think they're sitting in second or third place in the Westco. They're in second in the Westco North. And you only get one more opportunity, because this Tuesday, October 23rd, they're going to go to Marysville Getchell, and then their final home game of the season is October 30th versus Shorewood. That should be an interesting matchup.
I wonder if we're going to do that game on Wildcat TV. We are calling for us to do the volleyball game. We want to go support the females. They're out there working hard, showing what the Wildcats are all about, and bringing home championships. I like it.
And that would be outstanding if we had that opportunity. So, we had a great time here tonight. Unfortunately, came up a little bit short. Wildcats lost by a score of 43-40. Keep checking your news feeds on the Marysville Pilchuck game and whether or not we're going to end up in second or third in the Westco North. And I'm Shane Evans. Alongside of me, as always, is Jerry Oliver. And we are hopeful to bring you a game in a couple of weeks, and hopefully maybe some volleyball here in about a week or so as well. So until that time, you have a great night, and we'll see you next time on Wildcat TV.
Thanks for tuning in.